run this question. It's from Northern Cape, September 2021 paper. So they're saying a 4-digit code is created by using numerals from 0 to 6. Okay, so we must note that. So we're using numbers from 0 to 6. So which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many is our sample space? How many numbers in our sample space? It's going to be 7 if you count this. So we've got 7 digits to choose from. Now let's look at 11.1. They are saying how many 4-digit code may be formed. Can be formed if the numerals can be repeated. Okay, so we are forming 4-digit code. So we must have the first letter here. So we're choosing from 7 digits. It's going to be 7. But they said the digits can be repeated. So we still have 7 options here. We have 7 options here. We have 7 options to choose from. And then if we find this answer, it's going to be 7 to the exponent 4, which is 2401 codes. 11.2. How many 4-digit codes can be formed if the code has to be greater than 2000 but less than 3000, and the code must be an even number? All numeral must be only used once. So now there is no repetition here. So no repetition. You cannot repeat, cannot reuse the codes or the numbers, the digits. So let's put this down. Again, with 4. We've got 4 slots. Let's just break down what they are saying to us. So the thing must be greater than 2000 but less than 3000. So that is condition 1. Greater must be greater than 2000 and less than 3000. What do they mean by that? So we know that we are choosing from 7 digits, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Let's just put that down here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stopping at 6. Why did I say 9? 6. Okay. But now it must be greater than 2000. So meaning that cannot start with 0 or 1, because if it starts with 1, it's going to be 1000 something. If it starts with 2, it's going to be 2000. So it must start with either a 2, gonna circle it like that, but it must be less than 3000. So it's gonna be less than 3000 if it does not start with a 3, because once there is a 3 as our first digit here, gonna be getting a 3000 something in our code. So it must start with a 2 only. So meaning that in position 1 we only have one option, which is 2 only. And the second must be less than 3000. Okay, so we need to think about that again. It's going to be affected by so it's going to be starting with the 2, so it's going to be 2000 something. To make sure that we do not reach 3000, we need to take care of the last digit. The last digit must be, so basically the last code that you may have should be, maybe think of it as 2999, right? So it must be that. Let's think how we can use that. That's the largest. So if this is 2, so let's see on the last digit how many options do we have. So we can use a, but you can't even have a 9 because you don't have a, we're only stopping at 6, so the largest would be 2666. But now we're not gonna reach 3000 by default on the last thing. Okay, that's fine. I'm overanalyzing. So we're done with this first condition. Let's look at the second one, which is it must be an even number. So it must be an even number. Let me just use purple for that. So what do they mean by that? Even number, and numbers that are divisible by 2, which means that the numbers that end with 0 or an even number. So if it ends with 7, it's not going to be an even number. So which means that we have these options at the end, only 0. Can't be 1. Let's check again. Can it be 1? No, 1 is not even. So it can be 0, 2, 4, or 6. Must end with an even number or 0. So on the last one, we've got 4 options. So we could use 0, 2, 4, 6. So let's put this into numbers now. So here we've got only 2. So we have 1 option. On the last one, we've got 4 options, right? But now we would have used 1 digit here and 1 digit there. We would have used 2 digits now. Consecutive digits cannot be repeated. So once you have 2 spaces allocated, means that we have used 2 digits. We are now left with, we can no longer use them, right? So essentially, we can no longer use a 2. In fact, let's think again. So we've used a 2 here. We can't use a 2 here. Interesting. So we only have 3 options here. This is, yeah, it's very easy to miss that one because cannot be repeated. So may not repeat digits. So we have how many options here? We've got only 3 because we've used a 2. So we know that the 2 has been used. So out of our 7 options, we are now left with 6. And now we have 6 options, but now out of that 6, we would have used 1 here, either 0, 4, 6. Doesn't matter which one we use, but we would have used one of those. So meaning that we are now gonna have -1 here, subtract 1, so you're only left with 5 options here and 4 options here, and then that would be our answer. Yes, it's quite a lot, but just need to consider all those different cases. So we have 60 number plates. You see, the moment you put limitations, you end up with very less number plates. Sometimes they can say a number plate must be divisible by or a code, not number plate, a code. Am I saying number plates? So it should be 60 codes. Sometimes they can say a code must be, so if they say it must be even, you know that it must end with a 0 or an even number. Sometimes they can say it must be divisible by 5. In that case, it must end with either a 5 or a 0. That's how a number that ends with a 5 or 0 is going to be divisible by 5.